I'm going to talk about the top 6 post-event strategies that are critically important to your success after the event to ensure that your networking efforts were not futile. Let's get it. We create music. I'm Vaughan, once again the creator and host of We Create Music TV, and this is our final video in the Networking in the Music Industry series. It's the final video, y'all. Nah, but for real, it's the final video, so I hope you've been enjoying the series during this time. So after the event is over with, what happens next is critically super important to your success. You can put in all of your pre-event planning and during the event planning and actions and techniques and strategies and all this hard work, but if you do not implement your post-event activities well, then it was all for naught. So here are the things that you need to be very mindful of after the event is over. Number 1, follow-up. Oh my gosh, follow-up is so important. Your ability to follow up after the event is your make or break. It is what will help you to stand apart from all the other people at that event. And if you've done your job correctly, then the follow-up part will be easier for you. So a general rule of thumb is to follow up at least 24 to 48 hours after an event. Meeting someone once doesn't guarantee that they'll remember you, and they got to see you multiple times, right? But following up is essential. Keep track of the people that you've met. Save their business card, make notes. You can even start a spreadsheet with contact info for industry professionals that you met with data on, who you met, what you talked about, and what they do. Follow up with them every few months to let them know what you're working on and where you're at in your career. You can even use this opportunity to congratulate them on any relevant life events that they may have, or on an album that they've done, or something that you've noticed taking shape in their own lives as well. So we live in a busy world of emails, texts, and phone messages, and a lot of times these are often forgotten. It is good to check in and follow up with your important contacts every once in a while. For every music-related contact I have on my phone, I have indicated exactly where we met. That way, when I follow up, I can be sure to reference the right event, because like I told you, I go to a whole lot of events. So it is about staying in touch and not letting them fall off your radar or you off theirs. Number 2, create a contact information strategy. One of the problems that often arises from meeting new people is that their contact info ends up all over the place. If the information you collect is disorganized or inconsistent, it is unlikely that you'll be able to do meaningful follow-up with them. So spend some time figuring out how you collect and keep track of your contact info. You never know when you'll either need someone's help that you met years ago, or finally have a good connect with that person years after you met them. It is also good to have this information when someone asks you for a referral and you know exactly who to send that information to. That spreadsheet, trust me, will come in handy. But in today's world of technology, you have many apps that can accomplish the collection and storage of this information, such as Abby, which is spelled, I'm gonna spell it for you, ABBYY, right? So it's a business card reader, and you also have Camcard. A lot of them can scan your business card and it can store the information. Well, not scan your business card, but scan the business card that you receive from the other person, and they can store that information and organize that information for you. All right, number 3, check them out on social media. As previously mentioned, when attending music networking events, set a goal of how many new people you want to meet, especially your top 5 to 7 people. Following the event, make sure to check them out on social media to learn more about who they are and what they do. What kind of content do they post? What platforms are important to them? If Instagram is your social media platform and it happens to be theirs as well, send them a message about how it's a pleasure meeting them and reference a point of your conversation or something relevant that you discussed. If this is a key person that you connected with or a person that you want to build a future relationship with, make sure to follow up with them, and most importantly, engage with them often on social media. Before we proceed any further, right, you've heard this a million times, take a moment to subscribe to our channel, as it helps us to rank higher and makes this type of content more available to other music creators just like you. On to number 4, keep your promises. If you say that you're gonna call someone, do it. If you say that you'll make an introduction for them, do it. If you say you'll meet someone at a specific time, do it. There is nothing worse than a person who makes a promise and then doesn't keep it. This impacts your reputation and your brand. Keep your promises. Do everything in a timely manner. Get the reputation as a person of your word. People will be more inclined to help you if they know you're a professional and can be trusted. Trust me. You got to do this one. All of them are important, but this one is super important as well. So remember, DeWissowid. I know you're like, what is DeWissowid? DWYSYWD. Do what you say you will do, right? Remember that. Do what you say you will do. If you say you're going to do something, trust me, make sure that you do it. Number 5, be generous but selective with your connection. In today's world, many people have a scarcity mentality. I've talked about this a gazillion times, right? The scarcity mentality can be defined as the belief that everything is limited, and thus it is better to be selfish than it is to be generous. You know, the mentality that says, well, if I introduce you to this key influencer, then you may get an opportunity and I won't. If you're successful, then I may not be. If you get in with that top producer or songwriter, then I may not have a chance. Oh my gosh, I seriously dislike that type of mentality. This actually plays itself out more than you can even imagine within the music industry. And you'll hear people say, protect your connects. True, it is important to protect your connections, right? You have to. You're not gonna just willy-nilly just give them out. But that is a scarcity mentality. It is true that you need to protect the connections that you have, but if it's just solely for the fact that you're selfish and have this type of scarcity mentality, then it becomes a disadvantage to you and possibly to those who may benefit from, these connections that you may have, especially if they need assistance. So you're gonna hold these connections. Now, true, you got to be careful with who you're giving these connections to. So whenever possible, be open with your connections. Of course, you should only do this when you feel 100% confident that you will not be wasting your connections' time or jeopardizing your relationship with them. In other words, you probably shouldn't introduce a mediocre songwriter to a top-tier publisher. You gotta be very careful. You have to have discernment when you are utilizing your connections appropriately. The more you help others, the more people will rally around you when you need help. Let's move on to number 6, quid pro quo, or this for that. Quid pro quo, something for something, in Latin is an exchange of goods or services in which one transfer is contingent upon the other. A favor for a favor, right? So that's kind of what it is. So similar phrases that you may have heard is give and take, tit for tat. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. One hand washes the other. Especially today, the music industry is about forming mutually beneficial long-term relationships, and relationships are as much about giving as they are receiving. So don't be afraid to ask for specific things that you need. If you know names and you believe that the person you met might be able to connect you with them, go ahead and ask. Tell them that you know that they rightfully guard their relationships and the privacy of their connections, and you would never want to do anything to compromise that. Then ask them what they would need from you before they would make this type of key referral for you. You can't expect to get something for nothing. That's just not how it works, right? Quid pro quo, this for that. Give and take. Offer free services, offer help, offer information, advice. You can even barter with people. You can even have the ability to offer reduced services, etc. Give and take, tit for tat, this for that, right? So make sure you are using and living this law of reciprocity. Reciprocity will take you far if you're able to utilize it correctly. In the music industry, networking with other professionals, music creators, and industry leaders is how you get your foot in the door, how you are able to have a seat at the table. The music industry is arguably one of the most competitive industries out there. Meeting the right people and forging positive and lasting relationships is vital to the growth of your career. Thoughtful, consistent, and purposeful networking will help aspiring music creators such as yourself and such as myself. It will help us to grow our own network and to help us take our business to the next level. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in to our Networking in the Music Industry series right here on We Create Music TV. I appreciate you taking an interest in what we do. I know that you found this informative and practical. I look forward to meeting you at future music events once we get past this, and I look forward to seeing you put all these tips and strategies that I've been talking about into action. I wish all of you much success in your networking efforts and in your music career. Much success to you. Now, before you leave this video, you know what's coming. Take a moment to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and to turn on that notification bell to be notified of new content. And once again, I will see you in the next video. Peace. We create music. The series is over. It was fun making it, but it's over. Nah, I'm joking. Peace, y'all.